Hey guys, it's Christine with Indigo Wings Healing, and I am here a little bit early with the weekly Twin Flame video for the week of January 29th through February 4th. I wanted to do the video today. Today is the new moon in Aquarius, and I have a few things going on that I just wanted to get this video out a little bit early so you would know what was going on this weekend. I have a flash sale going on for my readings. All of my readings are on sale this weekend only. The information is on my Facebook page, so make sure you go on over to my Facebook page and hit the like button. There is a post with all of the sale prices. Twin Flame readings are almost $20 off this weekend only, and any orders that are placed this weekend are going to be entered into a drawing for you'll win one of my favorite magical oils and a crystal that I intuitively pick for you. So like I said, I just wanted to give everybody a chance to know about that sale that I was having this weekend. I'm also hoping to do in the next 2 or 3 days 2 additional videos, one for the feminine, one for the masculine, for the upcoming full moon that will be in February. It's going to be an eclipse, and the next few weeks are going to be a time of more purging, more release, and I just was feeling really moved to do individual full moon readings for each of the energies. So I wanted to give myself some extra time to do that. So for those of you who are familiar with me, you know that this side is the feminine, this side is the masculine. And there was something I was going to say. Take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Move on to the next thing. And especially, for those of you, I am so appreciative of all of the comments and messages that I've received. I'm so happy that I've been able to help people. If you feel like you're resonating with my readings and the things that I'm saying, this would be a great time to take advantage of having a one-on-one reading with me. So with that, I will get started on what came through for me. Oh, and the other reason I also wanted to do the reading right now is because I am burning my intention candles for the new moon. I have a few of them going, and I'm actually I have a confidence candle burning right now. I have a North Star candle, which is all about being on your soul path. I have 2 personal intention candles, and then I also am burning a surrender candle. So I have a lot of new moon magic going on right now, and I wanted to share all of that with you as well. So to get started, I was really intrigued by the cards that came up. I'm going to start over on the feminine side. The first card that came up was Shine. And I was pleased to see that because last week we left the feminine kind of, not in, at the beginning of last week, she was just not in the best place. And so I'm happy to see this is a card of the feminine just shining her light. And, I feel like for the feminine, this is a card of surrender. And, it's not in that place of, oh, I give up. This is, universe, I'm giving this to you. I'm going to be in a positive state of mind that you are going to bring me what's best for me. And while that's going on, I'm going to shine my light to the world, and I'm going to give back to everybody else. And so, this is a great place for the feminine to start the week out. It's a 19, which breaks down to a 1, new beginnings. And so I do feel like for the feminine, it's a fresh start on the attitude that she is, having towards herself, having towards the masculine. This is a good place to be. And then over on the masculine side, when I first saw this card, it's the Breathe card. The first thing that came to me was also that I felt like this was a card of surrender as well. But not just a card of surrender, clearly it's very different than what we're seeing on the feminine side. This is more of like a retreat. As we saw last week, there is a lot going on over in the masculine energy side, and he's really needing to take a step back and look within, to figure things out and to regroup. And so I put some clarifiers on this. I used a few different clarifiers in this reading. The ones I used here are the Indigo Angel Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And, I feel like with the masculine, what's going on right now, I got you are understood, and I think he's looking for somebody who's understanding what he's going through. He's feeling alone and like nobody understands him, and he is feeling rather I'm not sure if he's like lacking patience with his life, where he's at with himself, with his current relationship, but he's going within so that he can find that patience for where he's at right now. And then self-reflection, which is exactly what this card is taking a step back and that self-reflection. And so that's, where the divine masculine is at the beginning of the week. And so I'm just going to go into the next card because I feel like it goes along with where they are at already. It's the Seek card. And again, I feel like the masculine, this is a card of going within and withdrawing from everything that's going on around them. It is chaos, it is overwhelming, and they need some solitude so they can figure out what it is that they want, who they are, they're really trying to figure things out. And one of the first things that came to mind when I saw this card was that the divine masculine needs to be meditating. And so I pulled some clarifiers again from the Indigo Oracle deck, and I got one of the cards was release and relax, and I do believe that that's what's going to be going on as the masculine goes within. There's going to be a lot of releasing and purging going on at this time. So they're going to be needing to take time to have self-care and relax, rest, and meditate. They need to have faith in themselves. They need to believe in themselves. And I think, they're going through this spiritual awakening. They might be feeling like things are falling apart in their lives right now. They might be feeling like they're a failure in certain parts of their lives. So they're really going within so that they can find the confidence that they've lost in themselves. And then pray. And, I thought this was an interesting card to come up because I think, some of the divine masculine are not awakened and they're not spiritual. And so again, this is indicating that they're awakening, they're realizing that piece of themselves, you know, and I think it goes along with what I was seeing in the card initially, that going within, that meditating, you know, and some people look at meditation as a form of praying. And so I think that that's really where, you know, the masculine's going to be. And, you know, it's really going to be very inwardly focused. And that's not a bad thing. If, you know, when you have gone through your spiritual awakening and your moments of figuring yourself out and having to do your own healing work and your own purging work, most likely you retreated and you went within. And so this isn't a bad thing. So like I've said before, feminine, if you are not hearing from them or hearing less from them, it's not personal at all. They are trying to figure a lot of stuff out right now. But you know what? I feel like for a lot of the feminine, that's okay. You are in this place where you are just totally giving this up to the universe right now. You are taking that leap of faith. It's scaring you. You don't want to be let down. You're nervous that you know, you're gonna have that faith and that it's not going to work out, but your faith is going to be winning out. You know, you're just giving everything to the universe and saying, you know, give me what you got. I know that your plans for me are better than anything that I can imagine. And so I think that there are still going to be some of you feminine that are sad and disappointed and angry that you're not hearing from your masculine. You're still taking it personally. But if you can get to this place, it's not going to bother you. You are going to be okay. So I'm going to go back over to the masculine side, and the next card, and I got a lot of messages with the next card for both the masculine and feminine. The next card that I got for the masculine was the Move card. And, you know, I felt a few things with this card. What I always see with this card is that this is a card of union. Because this ribbon or whatever it is, it reminds me so much of like the hand fasting types of ceremonies that bind couples together, you know, and you've got the two hands and the energy wrapping around the heart, which indicates to me, you know, spiritual union. So for me, I feel like there's a desire here to be coming together with the feminine. Don't get too excited, because I'm not saying that that's happening. There's a desire. What I'm definitely getting for some of the masculine is that they are going to be taking more of an initiative. You know, they've decided what they want. They know what path they should be on, and they're ready to start moving in that direction. This card is traditionally the Chariot, so it's all about forward movement and, you know, wanting to just take the reins and move in the direction of your goals. And so I feel like that's really what is going to be happening with the masculine. I also feel like for some of the masculine, this is also a card of them coming into union with themselves. You know, and it can always be both for some of the masculine. It doesn't have to be one or the other. As they come into union with themselves, it can also make them desire to reach out to the feminine and want to take that, the initiative to do more with that relationship. So this card overall is just, I feel a lot of movement happening with this card. If you don't hear from your masculine twin, don't be upset. Don't take it to heart, because there is still a lot of stuff going on with them. Just because it's a new week or a new month, it doesn't mean everything else just goes away. So, but it's, the desire is there. The other thing that I noticed in this card that's standing out to me is that the heart has like a bandage on it. It's like you can see that there's like a crack. There's like cracks, like the heart's been broken before and it's been patched together. And almost like the energy of these two hands is bringing the heart back together, which I've never noticed that before in this card. And I almost feel like the feminine not giving up, sending that love in 5D, is making the masculine, helping to make the masculine stronger, and is helping to heal their heart just as much as you're healing your own heart. So I thought this was just, I was really pleased to see this card. So then I pulled 3 clarifiers from the Gilded Lenormand deck. And what I got was the man, the sun, and the heart. And, you know, I'm always happy when I see this one come up, because, you know, this is the card that reminds me of true love, of twin flames, because it's the 2 swans. And this is, you know, I'm seeing for the masculine, you know, it's a successful man, optimism, and a man in love. So I feel like there's a lot going on with this card, even with these clarifiers. You know, it's definitely indicating that, you know, he's changing his tune a bit. He's optimistic. He's in love. But I'm also getting the sense with these 2 cards that things are turning a corner for him, and he's, you know, he's gaining back some of that confidence and believing in himself, which is good. That's where we want him to be. So for the feminine, so how nice that the opposite card for the feminine is love, which in traditional tarot is lovers. And, you know, again, I got a lot of the same feelings about this card as I did for the masculine. You know, I felt like, you know, for a lot of the feminine, this is still about them coming into union with themselves, which is, you know, if we've talked about, that's essential before you can come into union with your twin. For some twins, though, I do see this as a potential reunion or reconnection taking place, especially with this new moon energy that we've got going on. I see that as a possibility for some. However, I pulled cards as clarifiers, and I don't want feminine twins to get their hopes up with this, because the cards that I got, I pulled the Gilded Lenormands, And the cards that came up were Crossroads, the Whip, and the Cross. And so what these cards are telling me is that with this card, is going to come a difficult choice. There's going to be some hard, challenging lessons that are going to come from this. So I don't know if that, is maybe referring to, relationships that may have to end, karmic relationships that may have to end, situations, things changing that you may not quite be ready for. But these cards are also saying that although this is a difficult choice, it is a destined choice for you. So whether it's happening now or later, like this is your destiny. And because I'm more comfortable and more familiar with the Angel Tarot cards than I am with the Lenormand cards, I said, you know what, like I was just not feeling super comfortable. So I wanted to pull a few more cards just to be sure on what I was getting. And so I got the 8 of Water and the 7 of Air and Balance. And so it kind of confirms for me that there's something that the feminine is going to have to be making a decision about, something she is maybe wanting to change, is wanting to move on from, but she might not really be ready for. Because the 7 of Air, this is a card of there's more going on than what you realize, and that although this is not a card saying no, this is not a good idea, this is saying this is not the best time, your plans need revision, your timing on this needs to be revisited. And then this card, which I kind of loved that this card came up because it reaffirmed everything for me. It's Balance, and it says right on it, wait for perfect timing. So I feel like the message that's coming up is that, for some of you, there's going to be a reconnection, but it is not the time for union. And that I feel like for some, the masculine might be coming on really strongly. And it's going to be easy for the feminine to get carried away. You need to make sure that you are thinking straight, that you're keeping your emotions balanced. Stay in this place that you worked so hard to get to. Because I really feel like that's going to be the most beneficial thing for you. Just trying to not get too swept up by everything that's going on. So the crowning energy is clarity of belief. And what stands out to me in this card is the butterfly. And there's a heart. And so I feel like this is about each of the twins having to really think about what's next, and not just what's next, but there's a lot of talk about twin flames and changing relationship paradigms and relationship templates and having an open mind. And I feel like this is going to be a time where the twins are trying to figure out what that looks like for them. and figuring out what they're comfortable with, what they want, what that looks like, and I'm feeling like what they need to do is give each other freedom. You may go into a point of not talking to each other again, while you just figure out what you're comfortable with and what you want things to look like, what your life to look like. Because I feel like with this butterfly, it's kind of like I'm going to let you go. I'm going to give you your freedom so that you know that not that I trust you, but like I give you your freedom because I know that you'll come back, kind of thing. And the clarifiers that I pulled with this got acceptance. So, again, I'm getting that this is about like thinking outside the box, that your relationship may not look like a traditional relationship, the house, the kids, the white picket fence, like the traditional thing that some people are expecting. It may look different. And you accepting what you're comfortable with, and also accepting yourself, accepting your twin, things like that. And trust came up. And I think it's partially because some of you may be coming into a time again where, you reconnect for a little bit and then you go your separate ways again. And that could kick up a lot of, triggers, more purging, more release. But you need to have trust that they haven't gone anywhere. They're coming back, that, you're just figuring out the details. You're just figuring out what fits for you. And then the last clarification card I got for this was stay. And this was just kind of a confirmation for me, like, yeah, they're not going anywhere. And you may feel, and this is masculine or feminine, you came together, you had this reconnection, and then silence again, or whatever it is that triggers you, and you might want to bolt. And this is a confirmation. No, don't go anywhere, because you are headed in the right direction. So at the grounding energy is seek the truth. And if I remember correctly, I feel like this card's been coming up quite a bit. And, it makes so much sense for both twins why this is sort of the grounding underlying energy. Both twins have been doing a lot of inner reflective work, and they're really just trying to get to a point of where they are standing in their truth and being authentic. And so for the feminine, I was kind of laughed when I turned this card over. It's observe, and this is another card of surrender. It's about being, taking a step back, being still, and just observing what's going on around you, looking at it from a different perspective, which I really feel like that's exactly what's going on this weekend, or not this weekend, I'm sorry, this week with, the surrender from a different perspective. It's a much more positive energy that I'm feeling. And it's no wonder this is the underlying energy that's coming up for the feminine. And I think that this is, having this surrender and detachment will be really coming in very handy towards the end of the week. Not only if you're the one who's coming into union with yourself, but if you're the one who is reconnecting with your twin, staying in that place of surrender, staying, keeping that step back will be really helpful for you. And then the underlying energy for the masculine is reach out. And I can't remember if we had this in last week's video. I'm going to have to check. But I was not surprised at all to see this. And this card's a 3. This one is a 12, breaks down to a 3. So again, we have connection. And I really do feel like the energy of reaching out is at the heart of everything that's going on with the masculine this week. And the clarifier cards that I pulled, and it was really funny. I pulled Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, and then Expression. And basically what this is telling me, Archangel Metatron is about speaking your truth. And when I saw both of these cards, immediately what that said to me is that the masculine is being pushed by his angels, his guides, whoever it is that is on his team, to reach out to the feminine. And this is expression, which is speak his truth. And not just speak his truth, but I really, Metatron is also one of the archangels that works with you about spirituality. And I feel like part of what the masculine's truth is right now is this awakening, these spiritual changes that are taking place. And the guides are pushing the masculine to talk to the feminine about what's been going on in terms of these spiritual changes. I don't know if any of you watch Grey's Anatomy. I am a Grey's Anatomy addict. But the main character refers to her best friend as her person. And I feel like, when it comes to all things spiritual, the masculine kind of looks to the feminine as his person. And the guides are really pushing them to, you need to speak your truth to the feminine. You need to talk to her about what's been going on with you in terms of the spiritual awakening. So I'll be really interested to see and hear from get feedback on this, if that is happening to anybody right now, or if that happens to anybody in the near future, because that came through very clearly that the masculine are being pushed to do that. So by the looks of it, it's a very interesting week coming up. Again, I wish I could say that, everybody's headed for union, but that's not the way I roll. It does look promising for some people, but regardless of who is headed towards union, who's headed towards reunion, the really awesome thing is that people are moving in the right direction spiritually, and working on themselves and working on that place of being in surrender. So the closer we get to that, and the more we move towards that, the more we work on being in balance with ourselves, the closer we get to where we want to be. So I think that is it for today. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, so that you can be notified as soon as I post a new video. You can check out my website. It's www.indigowings.com. All of my information on the readings that I have available and descriptions on them is on the website. Like I said at the beginning of my video, my Facebook page has all of the information for my sale. My Facebook page is facebook.com/IndigoWingsHealing. And if you have any questions about the sale that I'm having this weekend on readings, you can comment below. I am more likely to respond to Facebook messages or emails through my website, but I will make sure that I'm checking the comments below this weekend so I can try to get back to people. But other than that, I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Hopefully I will get those full moon readings up within the next few days. I hope you enjoy the full moon tonight, and take care.